At 1-800-Flowers.com, we know that connections are at the heart of being human. Whether celebrating life's joys or comforting during tough times, 1-800-Flowers helps you express what words can't. For nearly 50 years, millions have trusted 1-800-Flowers to deliver thoughtful gifts that help create lasting bonds. Because it's more than just a gift. It's your way of showing you care. Visit 1-800-Flowers.com/WWO and connect today. That's 1-800-Flowers.com/WWO.
This episode brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever find yourself playing the budgeting game? Shifting a little money here, a little there, and hoping it all works out? Well, with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive, you can get a better budgeter and potentially lower your insurance bill too. You tell Progressive what you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll help find you options within your budget. Try it today at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law. Not available in all states.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Elan's Matchup Maximizer, a podcast where I, Elan Dubrowski, take a look at next week's NHL schedule, try to figure out the teams that we're going to want to be targeting in our head-to-head matchups in order to maximize our games played. And of course, it's not only the teams. Let's try to find some players on those teams who may do something for us. Of course, we're not just looking for the most number of games. There's a lot of teams playing 4 times next week. Well, 5 of them, but only one of them plays 4 times on all off-night games, where you're going to be able to definitely fit those players in from that team every single game that they play. So that's definitely what we're going to be trying to target here. So you got to, before you listen to this podcast, mandatory, you got to pause. You got to go to your lineup. You got to set your lineup for next week. You got to figure out where you have openings for all the different positions so you know which teams are going to give you those games. And then we're going to have a good time here. By the way, I'm feeling really good. The patrons last heard from me when I dropped a very angry diatribe a few days ago when Twitter X had suspended all of the accounts that powered GameDayTweets.com, but thankfully everything came back. Everything's fine. Shams and I are back retweeting up a storm, so a lot of the information that I'm going to share on this episode are going to be via that site, and definitely I was sad that one day. I got to tell you, the day that it was gone, and I was like suspended from Twitter, right? I couldn't even go to look at the tweets from beat writers. Like the Keeping Karlsson account was also suspended. I was like, I didn't know what to do. I was like, how can I even play fantasy hockey? But life is good. We're all back. We're going to have a good time. I'm recording this Saturday afternoon. I'm curious to get some feedback on this. The nice thing about recording earlier is that you have more time to make these decisions. You know, maybe some people don't want to wait until mid-Sunday to make their ads for next week, because maybe by then a lot of the good players will be gone. So on one hand, I get this out earlier. On the flip side, I don't have that much info for you. I don't have any of the Saturday games yet. There's a game that's going to be starting in a few minutes of the Penguins and the Devils. I don't even know the result of that game. So I'm going to be only, of course, reporting data from up to today on Saturday. So let me know if you prefer that I do this like late Saturday, early Sunday morning, or around this time. But let's get into it. Okay, there's one clear good schedule next week. It's the New York Islanders. Let me actually give you the schedule. So it's our typical like Tuesday, 18 teams playing. You could probably fit someone in on Tuesday. But maybe not Thursday. 20 teams playing. Again, like maybe you can, maybe you can't, maybe only for certain positions. And then Saturday is our busy day. And then Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday, all super light. You'll be able to fit anyone for sure. So yeah, I like the Islanders. They do play that one Thursday, but it's only 20 teams playing. I was able to add Anders Lee to my Cupful Keeping Karlsson Ultimate Patron Fantasy League team. Knowing I had an opening on Thursday for a left wing. I wouldn't have been able to add any other position, but left wing I had room for, so you get the Monday, Thursday, and then Friday, Sunday. So assuming you can fit the Thursday, that's 4 games. That's a pretty good team. And the Islanders are a team that they have some interesting potential streamers for you, like beyond Horvat, Barzal, and of course their biggest superstar, Matthew Schaefer, who continues to tear it up game in, game out, though he actually did go pointless against Minnesota yesterday. So, you know, shame on you, Matthew Schaefer. But aside from those 3, a lot of the other guys are probably available in most leagues. I think your number one target, and of course, again, like we do have to take some of this stuff with a little bit of a grain of salt, just because The lines may have been changing after they just took this loss 5-2 to Minnesota. So like going into the game against Minnesota, they were rolling Horvat, Barzal, and Heineman as the top line, which is a pretty sweet spot for Heineman to be. He's also been on the second power play, but as long as Heineman's on that top line, he's doing like pretty well. He had a goal. One of the goals in that game for the Islanders of the two was scored by Emil Heineman. He also took 5 shots. He also hits a lot. He's got 3 points in his last 4 games. He's playing on the top line. For a streamer, I think no-brainer, left-wing, right-wing eligibility. So yeah, I like Heineman as a stream. If you can't get him, like here's a tricky one. Like someone like a Jonathan Drouin, who seems to be in a decent spot in the lineup. He's been playing, I guess you'd call it the second line with Palmieri and Callum Ritchie. Oh, welcome to the league, Callum Ritchie. But I don't think I'd stream him in a one-year league. But Drouin's also been on the top power play with Barzal, Horvat, Palmieri, and Drouin. So you may be thinking like Drouin and Palmieri are in similarly good spots. I'd say Drouin is like very tricky to hold. He's on a 4-game pointless streak, and even before that, when he was getting some points, it was always like assists with 1 or 2 shots. And I know that was what it was looking like for Trevor Zegras for a while. And then I dropped him, and Shams dropped him, and we were both regretting it big time because then all of a sudden he changed and started scoring goals and getting shots. But Drouin, I think we have a longer sample size where I just think best you're going to get is like an assist. Maybe if you get really lucky, there'll be a game with 2 assists, but I don't think that's going to come too often. So I think Drouin would be down my list. I'd be down for Kyle Palmieri. He takes some shots. He's got 3 points in his last 5 games, took 3 shots against Minnesota, 4 shots the game before versus Boston. And Anders Lee, who I added. Those other ones, by the way, Palmieri was taken. Heineman was taken. So Anders Lee, 2 assists in his last 3. Before that, he was on a bit of a cold streak, but he's solid. You know, he's like third line, second power play, but he seems to just be good. Like, he's going to get you some shots. He's going to get you maybe a couple hits even. And yeah, I don't know. I think he's like a good, solid guy, not someone I'm expecting to hold once the schedule gets back to normal. So yeah, give me Heineman, then Palmieri, then Anders Lee as your Islanders stream. That's a really good team to go for someone from. I guess there's also in a very deep league, you can go for a Simon Holmstrom. He's pointless in 2 games, but before that he was on a bit of a run. I don't love Simon Holmstrom. He's playing with Lee and Pajot on the third line. I'd probably take Pajot, to be honest, actually, over Holmstrom. So yeah, to update my list, we've got Heineman, then Palmieri, then Lee, then Pajot. Okay? Those are the Islanders guys to add. All right, let's look at some more teams that play 4 times with, some off-day representation here. I guess the Edmonton Oilers. Oh, now we're getting to teams that are going to be playing at least 2 of the Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. The Oilers play Monday, Wednesday, and then Thursday, Saturday. So this is, of course, one of those great situations where you get your Monday, Wednesday, and then you could reassess. Maybe you don't hold on. The thing with the Oilers is that Zach Hyman is expected to play Monday even. So I know that Jack Roslovic has been super hot lately and has been getting really good deployment, and Roslovic has been playing on the top power play with McDavid, Dre, I don't know. I like to call him that sometimes. RNH and Bouchard, but probably Hyman's going to take that spot right away. So Roslovic is like, I don't know. I feel like still for Monday, Wednesday, he's been doing pretty good, and he's been playing on the line with Draisaitl at even strength. It's not like all of his points, Roslovic's, have been power play points. Like he has 5 points in his last 4 games. 3 of them are power play points. That means 2 in the last 4 even strength. So yeah. I think it'll be not as exciting, and probably after that he'll be a drop, is my guess, but probably for Monday. And also, who knows, Hyman may need some time to ramp up. Maybe he won't even play Monday after the fact. So if you can get Roslovic still, only 16% rostered on Yahoo, get him for those last little bit. And then I guess Vasily Podkolzin is also playing on that line with Draisaitl. So Podkolzin just had a goal in the game against Dallas, which was a few days ago now, actually. It's been a while since the Oilers played. 2 shots, 4 hits. So, kind of similar to what I was saying about Heineman, about getting like good even strength deployment, giving you some hits at least. So I think it's not too bad to go for a Podkolzin. And again, this is for Monday, Wednesday. I don't know if I'm saying it's for all week. So it depends how many ads you have. If you're looking for someone that you're going to be holding all week, then maybe you're not going for one of these Edmonton guys. But yeah, I think Podkolzin, Roslovic could be decent. In the last game, Andrew Mangiapane was playing with McDavid at even strength with Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. He had an assist. The game before he had a goal. I don't feel it. I got to mention it. It's a good spot to play with McDavid. And yeah, he's had a couple points in a row, but I'd take Roslovic or Podkolzin over Mangiapane. Just a gut feeling there. Next, I'm liking the Columbus Blue Jackets schedule. Again, it depends who you can fit, but they play Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. So if you can get the Tuesday, Thursday, then you're getting 3 games in 4 days, which is a great way to start the week. Columbus is a bit in flux right now. Monahan is like hurt, but apparently not because he was practicing yesterday, so he's probably fine for next week. They've been like, I see from some tweets from yesterday on Friday, like they sort of had different practice lines. So I guess you'll see how it goes tonight against Vancouver. It's a late game. But it looks like Fantilli was with Marchenko and Voronkov, and then Monahan was with Johnson and Miles Wood. Remember Miles Wood? Okay, those were and then Boone Jenner then was on the 4th line. I guess my first thought is if Boone Jenner's been dropped, I still like kind of think, even though he's like that's why he was probably dropped, is he's playing on the 4th line, and I guess Jenner's not on the biggest hot streak right now. Like he has assists in the last 2 games, but not shooting that much. Before that, he had like a 5-game pointless streak. I think this is, again, I've said this a lot of times on Matchup Maximizer. I feel like if there's a guy who is slumping that we like drafted in all leagues, right, and then dropped because he turns out to be like not meeting expectations, and now he's in your free agency. And now that player has a good schedule. I feel it's like such a great opportunity because it's like a twofer. Like, first of all, you're getting a streamer of a guy who could do something. Like Boone Jenner, we've seen him do lots of things in his career, right? So maybe he's washed, but I'm like, oh, is Boone Jenner going to be so much worse than Kyle Palmieri, Anders Lee, who I just said on the last? You know what I mean? So like Podkolzin. So I feel like you take the chance to get him back. He has a good streaming schedule. So worst case, you get the Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and you drop him. But there's a decent chance that maybe Jenner just kind of figures it out and turns into the guy that the person who drafted him like expected him to be. And now you've got like a hold for at least a little while, if not the season. So I think go for Boone Jenner. And honestly, I'll say the same about Kent Johnson, who I know is he's been really disappointing, right? And Johnson, but he's still been on the top power play with Monahan, Voronkov, Marchenko. So if you can get Kent Johnson, I think he's okay. Though I guess I should be giving these 2 in order. Like, I don't know who's available to you, right? Like, you're not getting Werenski, you're not getting Marchenko. It could be like anyone else. Like, I'd say Adam Fantilli is like, looks really good because if he's been centering the top line in practice, that's where he exploded last year. So I would definitely jump on Fantilli if he's available now. Get the Monday, Tuesday, Thursday. You could always drop him after that, but I think the upside is just too insane. So he's the clear number 1. If Voronkov is available, get him. Top line, top power play. If Monahan is dropped or available in the shallower league, like get him. Yeah, and then I'd say Jenner and then Kent Johnson. And that's not so bad. All those guys I've just mentioned are taken in like a couple division for what it's worth. So now if we want like a really deep cut, how about, all right, who should I go with? There's a couple guys that have actually been doing some things lately. Like Matthew Olivier, who's generally just a hits demon. He had 1 really good game, 1 goal, 3 assists. But yeah, he's just like giving you so many. Did I say hits demon? Maybe hits merchant is a better term. But yeah, Matthew Olivier has been taking shots and hits. So it's like maybe you got a good floor. You know you're not going to get 0 points. You're not going to get cardio sessions for the Monday, Tuesday, Thursday. And maybe there's the upside for another 4-point game. I wouldn't bank on it, but he did it once against the Leafs. But yeah, I guess Cole Sillinger, who's a somewhat high pedigree player, he had a decent run. He's now pointless in 2 games. But before that, he had 3 games where he had points in out of 4, including a 2-goal, 1-assist game, also in that game against the Leafs. Are those guys playing together? Probably. Yeah, Olivier Sillinger, Charlie Coyle. So yeah, you can go deep into that line if you want to grab a Columbus forward. Oh yeah, Charlie Coyle. I guess I should mention him. He had that 4-assist game also against the Leafs. Quiet since. But yeah, definitely, again, go for one of those guys in the top 6 or top power play on Columbus if you can fit 3 games in 4 days. Honestly, like I'm looking through the teams, there's not like an amazing assortment of choices. There's a few teams that play Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. Like, so this is one of those weeks where it's really just, you got to check your schedule and what fits best for you. I'm seeing that the Rangers maybe are a team you'll want to target. And just like Edmonton, you got the Monday, Wednesday, and then they don't play again until Saturday, Sunday. So you're not gonna be able to fit the Saturday. I like the Monday, Wednesday. I don't know if I'd be holding my Rangers streamer just to get the Sunday game against Detroit if you're going to be benching them Saturday, but get the Monday, Wednesday. So let's take a look at the Rangers and see who they have for us as our next team. And, they're another team that's been changing up the lines. I got to say, I grabbed Will Cooley out of waivers when he was dropped from like a couple division, and it looks like he was on the top power play yesterday with Panarin, Miller, and Zibanejad, and he scored himself a power play goal. So I definitely like that in the 4-1 win over Detroit. So can't imagine the Rangers will change that. So looks like I'm good in my matchup this week. So I just hope he doesn't blow it today so that I can get all these 4 games next week with Will Cooley on the top power play. Is he available to you? Maybe. Only 39% rostered, maybe in shallow leagues. But yeah, Monday, Wednesday, and then maybe a hold. I'll be holding through the Saturday, Sunday. But beyond him, and then if we're looking at lower rostered players, I guess the person who got hurt from that is Alexis Lafreniere, who, you know what, got bumped from the top power play. He still had a goal and an assist versus Detroit, so maybe a bit of a mirage, but he's playing at even strength with Miller and Cooley, so it's still like a good spot. And I'm counting 5 points in the last 5 games for Lafreniere, so maybe he's going to end up being another disappointment, like have another disappointing season overall. But for next week on a good schedule, I think Lafreniere, definitely jump on him. I guess he's a Jenner, Kent Johnson type. Like maybe he was drafted and then dropped and then no one's been interested. But I think now's a good time to jump. Because that's it, actually. Like if you look at the Rangers after that, like the Lions have been like, okay, like in the last game against Detroit, Taylor Radish played on the top line with Panarin and Zibanejad. Like I doubt that will last for all 4 of those games, to be honest. And like even if it does, like what's he going to do? Like he had an assist yesterday, so that's good. He had an assist. He was on the top line. I don't know. I guess if you're in a super deep league, you could take a look at Taylor Radish again. I guess we only need to care about the Monday, Wednesday. If you're going to go for Radish, don't, I'm dropping this Saturday afternoon. Don't like rush to grab him now, but maybe wait till Monday, confirm that Radish is, sticking on that line, and then maybe that could be something. Maybe. I don't know. Who's this Noah Laba? I keep seeing him show up once in a while on the score sheet. I guess he's been like the third line center. He scored yesterday against Detroit. Also scored a couple days ago against Seattle. I doubt it's worthwhile, but that's a name of a guy who's been doing something. Okay, let's take a break. Then when we come back, I'll go through some more teams that will give us, I guess I'm looking specifically now at giving us 3 games, avoiding the Thursday and the Saturday. That would be good, right? So the Rangers just did with the Monday, Wednesday, Sunday. We're going to try to find some more of those. We'll be back in just a sec. The NBA season tips off, and so does DraftKings' newest fantasy game. DraftKings Pick 6 is the easiest way to play for big wins, with every possession giving you a shot at real money. Here's how to play. Just pick more or less on 2 or more stats and unlock the upside every game brings. Pick 6 is available in Texas, California, Missouri, and more. New DraftKings customers get $50 in bonus picks with just a $5 entry on your first pick set. Don't just watch basketball. Cash in! Download the DraftKings Pick 6 app now and use code THPN. That's code THPN. Play just $5, get $50 in Pick 6 bonus picks. Make the call, ride the upside in partnership with DraftKings Pick 6. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. In Connecticut, must be 18 plus. Age and eligibility restrictions vary by jurisdiction. Pick 6 not available everywhere, including New York and Ontario. Void where prohibited. 1 per new customer. Bonus awarded as non-withdrawable Pick 6 bonus picks that expire in 14 days. Limited time offer. See terms at pick6.draftkings.com/promos. The holidays are here, and that means it's the most wonderful time of the year to save with Rakuten. Rakuten, use them to stack cash back at your favorite stores on top of holiday sales. That's saving on savings. With Rakuten, you can get cash back on gifts for everyone on your list. From toys for the kids to kitchen gear for the person who loves to cook to electronics for everyone. You can even save on something for yourself. Just shop the stores you love and cash back is automatically added to your account. And you can choose to get paid via Interac, e-transfer, PayPal, or check. Join for free today and get a new member bonus after minimum qualifying purchases. Just go to Rakuten.ca, download the app, or install the browser extension. That's Rakuten. Spells Rakuten. Terms and conditions apply.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever think about switching insurance companies to see if you could save some cash? Progressive makes it easy. Just drop in some details about yourself and see if you're eligible to save money when you bundle your home and auto policies. The process only takes minutes, and it could mean hundreds more in your pocket. Visit Progressive.com after this episode to see if you could save. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states.
When you think about businesses that are selling through the roof, like aloe or skins, sure, you think about a great product, a cool brand, and brilliant marketing. But an often overlooked secret is actually the businesses behind the business, making selling and for shoppers, buying simple. For millions of businesses, that business is Shopify. Nobody does selling better than Shopify. With Shop Pay, that boosts conversions up to 50%, meaning way less carts are going abandoned and way more sales happening. So if you're into growing your business, your commerce platform better be ready to sell whatever your customers are scrolling or strolling on the web, in your store, in their feed, and everywhere in between. Businesses that sell more sell on Shopify. Upgrade your business and get the same checkout Skins uses. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/Westwood1, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/Westwood1 to upgrade your selling today. Shopify.com/Westwood1.
The Who's Down in Who Newville were making their list, but some didn't know Walmart has the best brands for their gifts.
What about toys? Do they have brands kids have been wanting all year?
Yep, Barbie, Tony's, and Lego. Gifts that will make them all cheer.
Do you mean they have all the brands I adore?
They have Nintendo, Nespresso, Apple, and more.
What about...
So the Who answered questions from friends till they were blue. Each one listened and shouted, from Walmart? Who knew? Shop gifts from top brands for everyone on your list in the Walmart app.
So like I said, we're still looking at teams, and there's still more. So, okay, there's not too... I don't know. I haven't loved the streaming options. Maybe it's just like the teams I've brought up for my specific situation haven't had like really good players to stream. So it hasn't felt like a really good streaming week. But we do have some more teams that play 3 times, avoiding the Thursday and Saturday, which isn't too bad. I guess we can go next to teams that play 3 times overall, but they're all avoiding the Thursday and the Saturday. So we can start with, for example, the Vancouver Canucks. They go Tuesday and then Friday, Sunday. So the question is, is it going to be worth holding? But especially if you're like full on the Thursday anyways, then it may be worth like grab it. And again, maybe you just grab on the Tuesday morning. I'm not sure. Maybe grab a Monday guy first and then reassess. But if you want to get a Canucks player, of course, let's even see if there's anyone worthwhile to get the Tuesday and then Friday, Sunday. You're not going to get Quinn Hughes. You're not going to get Pettersson. I assume you're not going to get Kiefer Sherwood. You know, Brock Besser's only 30% rostered, I'm seeing on Yahoo. 37% rostered. I'm surprised. But I guess also he got bumped to align with DeBrusk and Reichel, and then Evander Kane was playing with Pettersson and Connor Garland in that last game against Chicago. They did lose 5-2, so I'll be interested to see what the lines are tonight. So I think things can change up. So maybe let's just forget about the lines a little bit and just look at the players here. If you can get Besser, if you can get Connor Garland, I think go for it. If you get Evander Kane at this point, probably shouldn't have dropped him. He's got 3 goals in his last 2 games. He had 10 shots against Chicago. A goal on 10 shots. Jeez. That's like the vintage Evander Kane right there. So if he was dropped, go get him. And if you dropped him, we'll just have to move on with our lives. But we blew it, clearly. Okay, if you can't get Evander Kane, you can't get any of these guys I've just said. I guess next up, maybe Jake DeBrusk. He's actually doing a little better lately. He only has 1 goal in his past like million games, but I'm seeing 13 shots over his last 3 games, so I like that. If he's playing with Besser, he's still on the top power play. The top power play in the last game was Pettersson, Besser, Garland, DeBrusk, Quinn Hughes. So I think DeBrusk is a grab. Again, this might be, though, for more shallow leagues. He's taken, I'd imagine, the majority of a couple divisions. After that, it's... so I don't know. I gave that whole preamble of like why maybe to grab a Canuck, but it's pretty bleak. Like Atu Ratti had a goal in the last game, and he's got 4 points in his last 4. I don't expect that to hold for Atu Ratti playing. I guess he's playing on a line with Sherwood, and Sherwood's been good. But yeah, there's nothing. Sorry, I don't got anyone for you here on the Canucks. Maybe a defenseman, but they all stink, right? Tyler Myers not doing anything. Hronik's probably taken. If you can get Hronik, I guess go get Hronik. But again, for a defenseman, might as well get a defenseman that plays 4 games if you're going to be able to fit them. Usually these streaming schedules are useful for forwards. Okay, let's find another team that plays 3 times. I guess it's going to be the Nashville Predators. It's not a bad schedule. Monday and then Friday, Sunday. So similar to the Canucks, except Monday instead of Tuesday. I guess you could always grab the Monday and then see if they do enough to convince you to hold for the later in the week. Nashville's a very interesting team, I think, for streaming. First of all, like someone just streamed Steven Stamkos in my couple division, and I had him before. I dropped him. He's doing nothing. He had that one game where he scored a goal with like 0.2 seconds left. But aside from that amazing one shot, basically, that Stamkos took. It's just been a whole lot of nothing every game. So that said, I guess you can use the same Boone Jenner approach, and maybe now's the time you can take your chance on Steven Stamkos after other people have, and maybe you'll be the one that gets lucky and he figures out that he's supposed to be an $8 million player, and you can hold for the Monday, Friday, Sunday, and then move on, or even just hold for the Monday and then move on. So you could go Stamkos. I'll be honest, I'm at a point there may be other Preds you can add that I'd be more interested in. Like Ryan O'Reilly. Give me Ryan O'Reilly, who's also been cold, but I'll take the top line with Forsberg guy. I should mention, the only guy that's like held in all leagues in Yahoo is Forsberg, right? And Roman Josi, and I guess UC Saros. And aside from that, maybe Marchessault. If you can get Marchessault, I would get him. Then I'd go Ryan O'Reilly. And then even still, like we're looking like compared to Steven Stamkos, like Matthew Wood, the rookie, high pedigree, 5 points in his last 5 games, taking some shots. Stamkos only 1 or 2 shots. Maybe this is crazy, but I think I'd go Matthew Wood. Michael Bunting had a couple good games recently. Of course, not saying that I think Bunting is going to keep that up. But yeah, no, I think Matthew Wood honestly interests me. Also on defense, Nick Blankenberg has a 4-game point streak with Josi out. He's been getting a lot of ice time, a lot of power play time. Like it's Brady Shea's been pretty blah. Nick Blankenberg's been the defenseman that's actually producing somewhat. Brady Shea, what does he have? Yeah, like 1 assist in his last 5 games. So yeah, I'd say maybe this is a case where even though it's like for off day games, grab the defenseman in Blankenberg and see how long that lasts. Yeah, I like Matthew Wood, like I said. Luke Evangelista has been playing on the top line with Forsberg and O'Reilly. Like the problem is Nashville doesn't score much. Like they're just not a good team. So, are you really going to grab Luke Evangelista to hold for Monday and then wait all the way till Friday, Sunday? Probably not. But Matthew Wood, maybe. And then Stamkos, I guess, maybe. Of course. Like just for the potential upside. Maybe he gets traded at this point and that's what you're hoping for. And then I guess just to complete the set of, so I could say I've covered all the teams that play 4 times. We do have the Vegas Golden Knights. They go Monday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday. So you'll fit the Monday, Sunday. If you can fit the Thursday, it's not too bad, but you got to check for yourself. Vegas is a team still without Mark Stone, but they're still doing fine. Maybe this is a team also you're looking at potentially getting a goalie from. I could see them just going Lindbaum and Schmid back and forth. So you can get 2 games from a goalie. Whichever one of them is available. I think that could definitely work out decently for you. As far as skater streamers, if Barbashev is still out there, he's just had a 2-goal, 1-assist game. He goes a little hot and cold, but at the end of the day, Barbashev is playing with Eichel and Marner. At least that's where he was in the last game. You can't get much better than that. So if you can add Barbashev, get even just 2 games, that probably will be better than a lot of the streamers that I've mentioned. I think he's pretty solid. Deeper down, if you want to get someone on Vegas, like let me just give you the line. So if they're loading up Eichel, Marner, and Barbashev, that means against Tampa, they were rolling Dorofeyev, Hurdle, and Brandon Saad. So you're probably not getting Dorofeyev or Hurdle. So who are you getting? Brandon Saad? No, I'm not recommending him. So actually, then it gets pretty. Then we've got William Karlsson and Riley Smith, old friends, on a line with Brett Howden. Yeah, I guess. Yeah. William Karlsson, 5 shots in that game against Tampa. We'll see what happens today against Anaheim. Could be worse. So yeah, I guess there's not too many incredible options. Maybe on defense, I saw Shea Theodore was dropped in one of the Cupful divisions. That's pretty wild. I know he's been disappointing. Brian and I will definitely cover him on the Mega Show tomorrow. But if Theodore's been dropped, definitely I'd grab him. And probably he's a season hold. I'd imagine things will pick up. He's been on the top power play this whole time since Stone got injured and just not doing much. 4 assists in his last 7 games, only 1 or 2 shot every game. So yeah, not amazing, but I think that'll pick up. Noah Hannafin came back recently from his injury. I would grab Noah Hannafin for sure if he's out there. He has an assist in his 2 games, 5 and 3 shots, especially if you could use D. Like if you can fit the D on Thursday, Saturday, that's a pretty good stream that could turn into a hold as like your bottom defenseman. So yeah, Hannafin's like he's like a Sanheim. Like probably not going to be a long-term hold. A Matheson, but sometimes it's nice to have this like solid guy. He's going to get you some shots, some blocks, whatever. Or, it's fine. Okay. So anyways, sorry to end the show on it's fine. Hope you enjoyed this episode of Matchup Maximizer. I had fun recording it, and I've got a lot of stuff lined up for the big Sunday show tomorrow, a lot of the players I want to talk about aren't on teams with amazing schedules. Like, for example, on Pittsburgh only plays twice. There's actually 3 teams that play twice. So FYI, if you have Chicago, Pittsburgh, or Utah players, that's going to be a tough decision. I think especially for Chicago, it's tough because they play Wednesday, Saturday. So you're really only getting one game because you're probably benching your Connor Bedard Chicago players. So then... yeah, they were talking about it on the last short shifts with Jeremy and Shams about who to hold. It would be hard for me to drop Burakovsky. They said that you can move on from Burakovsky. He's on the top line and top power play with Bedard and producing. I could see that lasting like all season, and you'll just feel bad that you let go of this guy for one bad schedule week. So that would be tough for me. Bedard's like second in league scoring right now. I think you want the guy playing with him in all these offensive situations. Pittsburgh, we're definitely going to have to talk about Ben Kindle and the week he's had and his ascension up the roster to the top line. Hopefully he gets winger eligibility soon, so he would be a tough job. At least with Pittsburgh, they play Friday, Sunday, so it's 2 off-day games, and then Utah goes Wednesday, Friday, so you're also getting 2 off-day games. So at least you fit those games. Utah is decent because honestly, like, you can at least hold your Utah person past Friday and then reassess if you need them for the weekend. Like, most players only play 2 times by Friday on off-day games, right? So I would say don't hold on, like drop a mammoth that you wouldn't otherwise drop if it wasn't for the schedule. Penguins, it's tough. I'm holding Ben Kindle. I streamed him in and I like him. So we'll get into some of these exciting players that have we have a lot of like new top power play guys, like a lot of players in new situations that are producing. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Make sure you subscribe to Keeping Karlsson to get that and all of our content. Of course, we'll have more short shifts next week. We'll talk to you for the mega show. Have a great rest of your matchup. Good luck and happy streaming for week 6. See ya.
Every business has unique needs. Perhaps your business needs a better way to manage cash flow, help protect against fraud, or efficiently bank online. Or maybe you're on a roll and ready to expand. Whatever your business needs, Atlantic Union Bank pairs modern technology with knowledgeable bankers dedicated to making banking for your business easier. Call, visit us online, or drop into an Atlantic Union Bank branch today. Atlantic Union Bank. Any way you bank.
Pacifico is a Mexican lager brewed to be discovered. It's like fresh tracks on a powder day. Like that uncharted trail a stone's throw away. Like the perfect wave on a sunny day. Pacifico. Find your own way. 21 plus. Drink responsibly. Imported by Crown Imports, Chicago, Illinois.
The Who's Down in Who Newville were making their list, but some didn't know Walmart has the best brands for their gifts.
What about toys? Do they have brands kids have been wanting all year?
Yep, Barbie, Tony's, and Lego. Gifts that will make them all cheer.
Do you mean they have all the brands I adore?
They have Nintendo, Nespresso, Apple, and more.
What about...
So the Who answered questions from friends till they were blue. Each one listened and shouted, from Walmart? Who knew? Shop gifts from top brands for everyone on your list in the Walmart app.
The best TV comes in many forms, from real-life mysteries to blockbuster dramas, family favorites, and buzzworthy reality shows. Philo makes it easy to stream them all with one simple, affordable subscription. For just $33 a month, Philo offers more than 70 live channels, including favorites like AMC, A&E, MTV, Discovery, and Nickelodeon, plus on-demand TV like the entire AMC Plus library. Whatever the mood, there's always something new to uncover. Philo subscribers also get access to HBO Max Basic with ads and Discovery Plus at no extra cost, along with unlimited DVR that saves shows for up to a year. No long contracts, no complicated setup, just endless entertainment ready to stream anytime. Ready for a better way to bundle all the TV you love? Get started at philo.tv. That's PHILO.tv. Your next obsession is waiting.
If you're a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility and your machinery isn't working right, Grainger knows you need to understand what's wrong as soon as possible. So when a conveyor motor falters, Grainger offers diagnostic tools like calibration kits and multimeters to help you identify and fix the problem. With Grainger, you can be confident you have everything you need to keep your facility running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.